Hey, love, and welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. If you're new, I'm Shannon, and this space is all about manifesting from the inside out. So, no forcing, no pretending, no skipping the deep stuff. Just real conversations to help you live the life your soul already knows is yours. And I want you to take a deep breath before we begin today's episode, because this is going to be the moment where everything clicks. Over the past couple weeks, we've been building a foundation layer by layer. And now we're going to tie it all together so you can actually live this work in your daily life. Now, we started with a truth that shocked a lot of you, and that it's that you've never been self-sabotaging. Your mind's been trying to protect you this whole time to keep you safe. Every pause, every pullback, every spiral really wasn't because you're some kind of broken person who needs healing and fixing, or that you were inconsistent or not doing it right. It was your brain genuinely trying to keep you safe. Then we talked about why you can't manifest from stress, what happens in your brain and why it doesn't work. Once again, not because you're doing something wrong, not because you suck at manifesting, but because your nervous system literally shuts down creativity and openness when it feels overwhelmed. So none of that's going to happen because your body's not thinking about your highest desires when you're in that state, when you're in stress. It's thinking, am I okay right now? Am I safe right now? Is everything okay? Ooh, what do I got to do to protect myself? Then we explored joy, and not this forced fake positivity, toxic positivity type joy that you curate, but it's really not real or authentic. But we talked about joy with the real human moments that remind you and your nervous system what safety feels like. Because joy makes you manifest faster in a magical way because it is the antidote to stress. And a regulated body is the foundation. Then last week, we brought in awareness, not in a judgmental of myself, oh my gosh, how comes you've been doing that, wow, way. We brought in awareness in a compassionate way, in a way to bring our power back online so that we could notice our patterns, our thoughts, our emotions, our reactions in real time so that now our hands are back on the steering wheel, so that we can stop repeating the past and start creating the future. So here we are today. And here's the final piece that I want to give you before we start talking about some other things when it comes to using your mind to create your world. And that's the integration of this piece, of this foundational piece. In this episode, this is where everything comes home to your body and to your life. Because manifestation isn't something that you do once a month when you feel aligned. It's the small moments. It's the breathing moments, the emotional moments. It's this moment where your body whispers and you hear it before it has to scream at you. Because daily manifestation is not about control. It's about communication. It's about this communication within you. And I'm going to show you what that actually looks like. There's a version of you, and maybe she's been hiding under the pressure and the fear and the overthinking and the stresses of daily life, but she's there. She is the woman who doesn't bully herself into alignment to get aligned because she's so freaked out about how life is going. And she wants to make a change, and she knows she can make the change, but she's trying to fit it in instead of giving herself those uninterrupted 2 minutes. 2 minutes, guys, that's all you need, 2 minutes. This woman also doesn't force herself into thinking happy thoughts. She lets herself be a whole-ass human. She doesn't override her cues or push through her spirals. She listens. She feels her shoulders tighten. She recognizes her jaw clenching. And she's like, you know what? Okay, babe. What do you need right now? She feels her energy dip and she whispers, it's okay. We can come back. Let's just go find our calm first. She notices her mind drifting into worry and she pulls herself back, not with force, but with compassion and love and familiarity, because she's learning her own nervous system the way that you learn the rhythm of a new song. Come on, guys. What's the song right now that's hyping us all up? We're going up, up, up. It's our moment, right? We all learned the rhythm of that song. I dance to the rhythm of that song while I'm washing my dishes. And we learn ourselves that same way. That is the woman that you're becoming. Not because you're a woman who never gets stressed. Not because you're a woman who never gets stuck, but it's because you don't stay there. Daily manifestation becomes effortless when you stop seeing your body as something that slows you down and you start to see it as a compass that leads you home to your true, authentic, raw human self. Now, you may think that daily manifestation is going to mean repeating affirmations and writing down your desires in the morning and meditating. And those are beautiful tools. Y'all know I'm a Post-it girl. Like right down here on my desk is about 50 Post-its, and they work for me. But they only work for me because I come home to myself first. Because I get myself into that calm and I release the stress first to activate my Post-it notes. Once again, that works for me. You use what works for you. Meditation and Post-it notes are my jam. But daily manifestation, that's your shift, your energy shift. Because you're not ignoring yourself. You're responding in a gentle way. You pause and you regulate once again before you dive in. You let yourself laugh or rest or step outside for fresh air because you know your body needs safety before it can be open to possibility. Daily manifestation is the moment you stop trying to be perfect and you start trying to be present. And I'm going to say that again because I want you to really think about that. As women, we struggle with perfectionism so much. Where did the idea of perfect come from? Who told you it has to be exactly this way? Or it's not gonna happen for you, or you're not doing it perfect. Who told you when you sat down to meditate, you had to get rid of all of your thoughts? I had a client that told me that. We talked about meditation, and we were visualizing through meditation with our vision diaries. And she goes, well, I gave up on meditation because I can never make my mind completely silent. And I'm like, who told you that? Like, there's so many ways to do things. There's not one way. It's a way that feels good to you. Stop trying to be perfect. Just be present in your life, in whatever it is that you're engaging in that feels right to you. That's why in Coaching on Demand, you get a plan for manifestation that's unique to you. So you can stop chasing other people's ideas of perfect and start manifesting for what works for you, what feels good to you, so you can be present instead of trying to be perfect, which allows you to manifest that life, to have it in your mind, but then start living it in your 3D world. You notice the stress rising, you ground yourself instead of forcing alignment, and you let joy soften your system in a way that works for you. And when it becomes so familiar with what your body needs, when you have that familiarity with what your body needs, you can shift your state in minutes, not hours, and not days. The more you do it, the more you listen to the whispers of the inner you, the more magnetic you become every single day, not because of the rituals or the techniques, but because of the connection with self. I know for myself, when I start to feel kind of agitated or frustrated, it's time to go sit on my porch. There's something about going and sitting on my porch and looking at my big, beautiful tree and all of the animals in the tree, the birds, the squirrels, the lizards, like everything lives in there. And just breathing in that air, what I consider fresh air, even though I live in the city, so it's probably not fresh. And we have ozone days where it says don't go outside. But I know I have to go sit outside. And that brings my body back. It connects me to me. So one thing I want you to understand before we move any further is that your body is always going to speak before your mind, always. Most women think that their mindset is the first thing that reacts when something feels off, but it's not. Your body fires that first flare. Oh, you know the flares that oh no, I'm lost at sea, shoot off the flare. Yeah, that's what your body's doing. Long before the thought comes in, your body feels it. And the wild thing is that we spend so much of our lives ignoring the early whisper because no one ever taught us that our physical cues are actually emotional language. It's manifestation language. It's not random. They're not inconvenient. It's not weakness. It doesn't mean you're not strong. They're the first sign of your system asking for support. You know when your jaw tenses or you're feeling restless energy buzzing in your skin. It could be like you find yourself zoning out without realizing it, or you're snappy and irritated, like, but squeezed in tight. You can't explain why. Tightness in your body, like something's just not right. It's a squeeze from your physical self. These moments, they're not like your body malfunctioning. They're your body signaling. It's setting off a tripping wire that says, like, can we just slow down for a second? Your body's not trying to block your manifestations. It's trying to get your attention so that you don't create or try to manifest from a dysregulated place. So you're not creating from dysregulation. It's like, hey, we got to regulate. But what happens to most of us women, especially in society today, is like we try to override it or pass, like pushing past it or try to convince ourselves, no, this is not a big deal. I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to keep pushing. I'll deal with that later. Later don't come. Deal with it now so it doesn't compound. You stuff it down thinking that, okay, if I think positive, if I be grateful, if I'm perfect and do all those things, that I'm going to manifest and that'll just go away. Like if I do those things, it's going to take care of that thing. And then you get stuck. Because when you override your cues, you're really not being powerful. You're being disconnecting from the very system that makes manifestation possible. So that's not power and that's not strength. I had to learn that the hard way. I don't want you to. For you to manifest consistently, and I mean in a real and grounded and repeatable way, you're not the woman who's going to stay high vibe 24/7. You're the woman who's going to learn to notice her cues before they become cries. The one who feels your energy shift. And instead of trying to force your way past it, you're going to pause because you're listening. You're saying to yourself, okay, something in me feels off and I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to breathe and I'm going to ground and I'm going to regulate and then I'm going to move. And it's not because you're fragile. It's because you're wise enough to know that creation doesn't happen when your system's overwhelmed. You know that your power lies in safety. You know that your power lies in regulation. And that's how you become the woman who has manifestations that land and they land and they land. Not because you're perfect, not because you're powering through, not because you're a boss bitch, but because you honor your body's signals instead of treating them like inconveniences. And when you start responding to your cues with compassion instead of pressure and you step into that power in a way that doesn't flame out, it deepens. Because you don't push yourself to the point of burnout anymore. You pause. You say no. You know oneself. That is the whisper energy. And that is the identity that we build at Manifest She. Now, becoming the whisperer, once again, is not about controlling your mind. It's not about forcing emotions into submission. It's learning your rhythm and your internal world and moving with it instead of against it. You know that your mind is not the enemy. It is an interpreter. Your body isn't an obstacle. It's the messenger. And your desire is not a fantasy, it's the direction. So when you think about daily manifestation, I want you to stop imagining a checklist. Stop imagining some kind of ritual or practice you have to stay on top of, like, oh, I have to journal as if it's already happened. Like scripting works, it does work. Oh, I have to look at my, pictures on my vision board. Well, that does work. I teach how to use a vision diary. I have classes on that a few times a year. Making it powerful, but making it powerful, making sure we're on our foundation of putting everything in place. You see, when you get to this place, you stop imagining the version of yourself who's never stressed or never tired or never overwhelmed. Like, you stop imagining that if you just think hard enough that you're going to eliminate stress or you're going to eliminate being tired. And you start seeing that stuff comes, but it doesn't dictate your life. That's not the whole story of your life. Sure, like stress comes. You can have the most, curated life and you go to cook your favorite pie, because I'm about to do that. And for some weird reason, the oven heats up weird and like half of it burnt. That's going to stress you out. If you have to run back to the store and get more pie ingredients and start all over, and you had it in your mind, a routine that you were going to want to follow, and maybe I'm giving you a glimpse into my brain because that's how I am. I have to have routine. Routine is important. Once things are set in my mind for the day, I know, but I also know oneself and how dysregulated I can get from change of circumstances or when the steps don't go how they go. And because I know thyself, I know how to listen to the whispers. Now they don't scream like they used to. I know the whispers. I know myself. Because daily manifestation is your mind, your body, and your desire, learning how to communicate with each other on purpose, with connection. And when you live from that place, that deeply connected place, manifestation stops being some kind of task or thing on your to-do list. And it just becomes a natural byproduct of how you move through the world. It truly becomes second nature. Manifesting on purpose becomes second nature. You know you are manifesting all the time, whether you realize it or not, because 95% of your subconscious is responsible for what you experience in this world. We've talked about that on many episodes on how that works. So you can go back and listen to those if you need to. But when you're connected with yourself, how you move and create on purpose and change the pathways, that becomes this just second nature to you. It's automatic. Just like anything else in our life becomes automatic in our subconscious. When we do this, we now put this whole process, this whole feeling, this connection of self into our subconscious, and we experience it and we flow. And that's what brings our desires closer. That's what makes manifestation sustainable and not performative. So before we wrap up, when we talk about how we're going to put this into practice in our own lives, let's just do something small and tender and powerful. And we did this a little bit last week. Let's do it again. Place your hand on your heart. I want you to let your shoulders soften a little bit. I want you to take a deep breath in. I'm going to yawn with mine. See, that's a release. That's an energetic release. Yawning is an energetic release. And let that breath fall out naturally. And then ask yourself, what do you need to feel safe enough to receive today? Not tomorrow. Not when the chaos has calmed down. Not when you finally feel like you're in alignment the way they talk about on TikTok. But what do you need to feel safe today? Your body may ask for rest. It may ask for grounding breath. It may ask for joy, a laugh, movement, quiet, honesty, softness. The answer may surprise you, but I want you to listen to the whisper. That's what daily manifestation looks like. It doesn't look like a perfect mindset that never has an errand thought. It's a consistent relationship with yourself. It's learning how to communicate in real time so you can create in real time. It's building safety inside of you that lets your desires come close without your system flinching so that they just spill out into your reality. And that's where your power matures. And that's where manifestation becomes the way you live. And it's not something you chase or you're constantly trying to figure out. And if you want more of this, if you want help learning your body's cues so that you can do this easily, if you want to know exactly which grounding method works for your system, that's tailored and unique for you, then today is your lucky fucking day. Because the Nervous System Whisperer session is inside Coaching on Demand. It is live. It is up. It is ready. For those of you who already have the Coaching on Demand library, it's there. Go activate it. Go into the session. For those that don't, you can get into Coaching on Demand in the link in the show description, because this session meets you right where you are. It gives you a precise grounding method that your system is going to respond to. And it helps you to return to your power without pressure. Like, you can go into it as much as you want. Got irritated at your boss this morning? Let me go whisper with my nervous system. Got stressed out in traffic on your way home? Let me go into the nervous system whisper and work it out. It's the next step. It's the natural step. I'm really excited for you guys to experience this one. I worked really hard on building this one. If you don't know what Coaching on Demand is AI Shannon. It is me custom built into an AI that does different manifestation sessions with you. So that all the coaching that I do with my one-on-one clients is built into a library. And like I said, I'll put it in the show notes so you can access it anytime. You don't have to worry about your schedule. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just go in there and get that uniqueness that you need for your own manifestation. Because manifestation is a unique experience. It's different for everybody. Our minds are different. How our bodies respond to things, all of it's different. We're all unique, and that's what's beautiful. And Coaching on Demand touches on your uniqueness, and it personalizes it for you. And if you want to become the whisperer of yourself so that you can know exactly what works for you, so that manifestation becomes the way you live, then go check it out today, grab it, and I'll chat with you next week. If you loved today's episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and share it with your fellow warriors. Let's create a ripple effect of liberation. Until next time, stay fierce, stay fabulous, and as always, live life unapologetically.